This is one supplement that's simply unputdownable. The Hindu METROPLUS for years has been educating and entertaining us with stories of great personalities, city events, art, fashion, sport and lifestyle. And starting this week, the METROPLUS gets a third dimension on our channel. Meet legends in our personality segment, walk down history in memories of Madras, become one with man and machine and fall in love when you see our Mush Register. Setting the tone for what's to come on the show is a man whose signature voice and many talents, especially those on stage, have captured our imaginations for a long time. PC Ramakrishna is our personality of the week.
Or Patsy Muldoon, the fantastic Prime Minister.
The voice is distinct, diction exquisite. From a documentary, corporate film to a storytelling session, the sound of his words conjures up the live image of the story for one and all.
The sound of the word excites me, and it's important for me to pronounce things right. And over a period of time, we have begun to discover what is called neutral English. It's neither American English, nor Queen's English, nor Australian English. It's neutral, unaccented, idiomatic, axiomatic English. If you were to say the same thing the same way to all audiences, it's going to be monotonous and it's boring. I do a lot of work connected with children's talking books, Panchatantra tales or whatever. It's a child who's listening at the end of it. So if you're going to say, once upon a time there was a king, it's not good. You've got to say, once upon a time there was a king. Now the king had a queen and they had a lovely daughter. See, this is how you say for a child. I mean, you can't say that when you're talking to adults. Sometimes you're talking about films on heritage or tourism. Tucked away in the northern corner of India is a vast wasteland. But that wasteland is inhabited by a very singularly unique creature. And that creature is called whatever it is, you know.
PC Ramakrishna is a born artist, and his artistic caliber surfaced with his passion for music, especially the mridangam.
It happened to me in 1966. I could either choose mridangam, for which I was professionally trained by the greatest of them all, Palgat Maneyar, under the Gurukula system for the last 6 years of the 18-year period, or I could go and join a corporate life. At that point in time, I had already started playing at the Music Academy for a 2:30 concert. I had to weigh my options.
And then a successful corporate career in the north took over PC Ramakrishna's musical calling. But not for very long, he was back in Chennai and back on stage, but this time as an actor.
I'd come to Madras in 1969 and I was asked to direct a play for Loyola outside of Bertram Hall by my old principal. And at that play, Ammu Matthew of the Madras Players met me through a common friend, asked me to come for a reading. It was a reading of Arthur Miller's The Crucible. It had Girish Karnad and Vishala Mekambaram and others in it. And that was my first tryst with the Madras Players. It started in '69. It's still on.
Now, there was no stopping. A great voice, a great persona. Every character he essayed and every dialogue he delivered left a telltale mark in every viewer's soul. PC Ramakrishna lives the character he plays, not just on stage, but even at home.
I did a play called Anna Weiss. It is about a father who's being accused by the psychiatrist of having sexually molested his daughter. Now, it's a very, very difficult thing. And I had daughters who were not married at the time staying with me. At about the same age, my daughter was in the play. So when I came back home, it was a trauma of a different kind. I did a solo theatre event called Mercy in 2005, celebrating 50 years of the Madras Players, adapting Shiva Shankari's novel Karunai Kolai, which deals with euthanasia. And I did it as solo theatre. I know it must have been a very, very difficult time for my wife, because it's a very lonely existence, very solitary thing, you know. Only the director and you come back and you cannot switch off. And your wife sometimes says, what is this man? I mean, I don't see him when he's rehearsing, when he's at home, I'm not able to communicate with him. An artist's life is very difficult. Though I enjoyed playing Malvolio, my favorite lines in the play weren't Malvolios. They belonged to Count Orsino, and they were sheer poetry at the beginning of the play. And invariably when I went to rehearsal, irrespective of who was doing what, I used to sit around and say these lines. And these lines I will just say to you because they're so beautiful. Count Orsino says, "If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it, that surfeiting the appetite may sicken and so die." Ah, that strain again. It had a dying fall. Oh, it came o'er my ears like the sweet south that breeds upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough, no more. 'Tis not so sweet now as 'twas before. O spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that notwithstanding thy capacity, receiveth as the sea, not enters there, of what validity and pitch soe'er.
It's not music for PC if theatre be the food of love.
So full of shapes is fancy, that it alone is high fantastic.
P.C. Ramakrishna just proved that he also has a phenomenal memory, remembering all those lines after all these years. Coming up on the Metro Plus show, a ladies' car that can make any man go weak in the knees.